Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to have you here today. Today, we'll explore how to act like a king to be treated like one. Our focus is on being royal in your own unique fashion, inspired by Law 34. In this presentation, we'll uncover key principles and practical tips to help you embody confidence and authority. So, let's get started and discover how you can elevate your presence and influence. The way you carry yourself is often a reflection of your inner confidence and self-respect. It's important to remember that how you present yourself can actually influence how others treat you. If you come across as vulgar or common, over time, people are likely to lose respect for you. On the other hand, when you carry yourself like a king, showing dignity and self-respect, you naturally inspire others to see you in the same light. Think of it this way. Acting regally and being confident in your abilities makes you appear as if you're destined for greatness. It's about projecting that sense of authority and self-assurance, which not only elevates how others see you, but also reinforces your own sense of worth. This ties into the overall theme of the presentation, which is about understanding and mastering the art of self-presentation and leadership. Your outward demeanor can open doors or close them, so always aim to act with the confidence and dignity of someone who's already earned their place on the throne. When we think about the strategy of the crown, it's all about projecting confidence. If you carry yourself like a king, with that sense of self-assuredness, you naturally set a high value on yourself. People will pick up on that confidence and, in turn, treat you with the respect you're demanding. It's a powerful cycle. Now, a lot of us tend to believe that our limitations are rooted in external factors or physical constraints. But the truth is, most of these limitations are psychological. If you see yourself as destined for mediocrity, that's exactly how you'll act. And unsurprisingly, others will treat you based on that belief. That brings us to the core idea, that belief creates reality. The way you see yourself shapes how others see you and how you behave. So, if you want to change your circumstances, it starts with changing your mindset. Project that confidence, believe in your worth, and watch how your reality begins to shift. He spoke very little, choosing instead to maintain a haughty distance from those around him. This created an aura of superiority, almost as if he was above everyone else. The Palace of Versailles was built not just as a residence, but as a physical manifestation of his power, designed to revolve around him and emphasize his central role. Every morning, his routines and meals became grand ceremonies, reinforcing his divine status. By treating himself as a god, he made it clear to his courtiers that they were there to worship him. Louis XIV of France is the ultimate example of this mindset. He was not just a king. He deliberately positioned himself as the center of the universe. This idea of being the Sun King was a powerful symbol of his authority and his desire to be seen as the source of all power and light. It's a perfect illustration of how monarchs used symbolism and ceremony to reinforce their dominance, which ties into our overall theme of how rulers projected authority to maintain control. So, here we see just how bold Columbus was from the very start. He demanded the title Grand Admiral of the Ocean, which was a prestigious naval rank, along with a peerage, meaning he wanted to be recognized as nobility, and a hefty 10% of all revenue from the lands he believed he would find. What's fascinating is that he made these demands even before he had secured a single ship or proven any success. Queen Isabella, surprisingly, was struck by his audacity and his royal bearing. Instead of dismissing him, she actually granted his demands, which shows how persuasive and confident Columbus was. Now, despite coming from a humble background, his father was a cheese merchant. Columbus carried himself with the demeanor of a nobleman. When he sought funding for his voyage, he didn't just beg for support. Instead, he presented himself with confidence and conviction, which played a big role in convincing the Queen to back his plans. This story highlights how Columbus's boldness and self-assurance were crucial in securing support for his journey, setting the stage for a historic exploration that would change the world. Let's talk about the keys to power. First, act as if you are already wearing the crown. When you carry yourself with that confidence, your internal belief becomes visible through your body language. This not only empowers you but also silences any doubters around you. Remember, confidence is contagious. Next, always radiate confidence. Maintain your composure no matter the situation. A true king does not lose his temper or resort to whining. Dignity is essential because it acts as a mask hiding any insecurities you might have. When you hold yourself with dignity, others see strength, not weakness. Finally, set your value high. If you ask for little, you'll receive little in return. But if you aim for the moon, people will assume you're worth it. Demanding the highest price, whether that's in your work or your worth, is a critical part of commanding respect and power. All these elements, belief, confidence, dignity, and high standards, tie together to reinforce your authority and help you embody true power. So on this slide, we're looking at King Louis-Philippe of France, who reigned from 1830 to 1848. He believed that by adopting a more common persona, he could endear himself to the people and be loved by them. He thought that by dressing in a simple gray suit, carrying an umbrella, and ignoring the traditional royal ceremonies, he would appear more relatable and approachable. However, what actually happened was quite the opposite. Instead of gaining respect and affection, the people despised him. They wanted a king, someone who embodied the grandeur and magic of royalty, not a businessman-like figure. By stripping away the symbols of monarchy, Louis-Philippe inadvertently lost the sense of awe and respect that traditionally surrounded royal authority. This shift demonstrates a key transgression. The attempt to be one of the people backfired because it undermined the very authority and mystique that people expected from their monarchs. Ultimately, his efforts to modernize the image of kingship led to his downfall and eventual overthrow. So, this example ties into our overall theme that trying to diminish the traditional symbols of power can sometimes backfire, leading to loss of respect and even political downfall. Let's talk about the reversal between dignity and arrogance. Think of yourself as the lion, not the peacock. Being a lion means exuding calm confidence and assurance. It naturally draws people toward you because they feel better just being around someone who carries themselves with dignity. On the other hand, arrogance is quite different. It's about acting superior to others, which often pushes people away. In fact, arrogance is usually a sign of insecurity hiding behind a loud exterior. It's important to distinguish between regal bearing and arrogance. Just because you carry yourself with elegance or confidence doesn't mean you're arrogant. Regal bearing is about grace and self-assurance, not superiority. Now let's look at the peacock trap. The danger here is that sometimes what appears to be confidence or dignity can actually be arrogance. The key is to stay genuine and grounded. When you embody true dignity, you attract, inspire, and connect with others. But when you fall into the trap of arrogance, you risk alienating those around you. So remember, be the lion. Stay calm, confident, and humble. That's how you truly command respect and build meaningful connections. Let's take a moment to acknowledge the sources behind the images we've seen today. First, we have the stunning peacock, which comes from Pixelsmerch.com. Its vibrant feathers really exemplify nature's incredible display of color. Next, there's a beautifully detailed portrait of a crown, sourced from Amazon.com, illustrating regal elegance and craftsmanship. Moving on, we see an image from Encyclopedia Virginia.org that highlights historical significance, linking to our broader theme of cultural heritage. Then, there's a classic artwork by Claude Lefebvre, available through Meisterdruck.us, which reminds us of the artistry of the 17th century. We also included a modern Instagram photo representing contemporary visual culture, sourced from social media platforms. Lastly, a golden royal crown from Stockcake.com symbolizes authority and tradition. Each of these sources enriches our understanding and connects directly to the themes of beauty, history, and power we've explored throughout this presentation. And finally, I want to acknowledge the sources of the images we've used throughout this presentation. For this slide, the image comes from Stockcake.com. You can see the URL here, which points to a majestic throne chamber that nicely ties into our theme of leadership and authority. It's important to give credit where it's due and to recognize the creative work of others. These visuals help us better understand the concepts we've discussed, and citing sources maintains transparency and respect for intellectual property. Thank you for your attention, and I hope this presentation has been both informative and engaging.